What's up, Bible buddies? We're going to go into depth on passions and motivations today.
Now, most Christians do not create motivation every day to pursue their passion. Not one person, I bet you, thinks about their passion or motivation while doing their passion or doing anything that they do. Nobody thinks about motivation while doing homework or anything like that. Every true Christian will admit to believing in God, but not every Christian finds the daily motivation to pursue their passions. In this podcast, we talk about how every Christian at one point can find the motivation to pursue their passions in a Christian-based way.
Our goal in this podcast is to aim to establish a framework for how Christians can find and create motivation to pursue their passions each and every day. We are hoping to explain why it's important to find motivation to pursue your passion and how as Christians we can accomplish that. But who cares, and why is this question important? Well, everyone should care that they're doing everything for the right reason and the right way. It is important for Christians to consider if they're doing things for the right reasons or if they're doing it for selfishness or out of despite. Being motivated to do something and doing something for the right reason is kind of all in one.
Now, you may be asking for some super specific reason that I'm going to slap you with some. All right, now goals are something required. Everybody's born and they have goals. You want to become a better person. It's built into our DNA. We're born with and must achieve them. We must develop our goals and objectives to achieve them. There are some successful ways that you can, do, such as following specific strategies that will help you out in your endeavors. Executing these strategies in a continuous movement will help you improve and set your goals better. It took Nehemiah 52 days, that's over a month, to reinforce the gaps and rebuild the wall. He got his people together, he equipped them with tools and got to work. He led them in rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem after they got destroyed. He didn't let that stop him at all. He continued on and trudged the road of difficulty. After the wall was built, Nehemiah gave glory to God, just as we should when we achieve our goals. Nehemiah had troubles and hardships in this process of building the wall, even having it destroyed at one point. But this did not make him deter from any of his goals that he had set. What's good, Bible buddies? We're going to go interview Miss Allen. Peace out.
So we're here with Miss Allen. So, Miss Allen, first question, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
My alarm clock. No, I love teaching. When I was 6, let's call it first grade, I had a teacher named Mrs. Peters, and I thought that school was the best thing ever. I was jealous that she got to write on the chalkboard every day and that we did these cool worksheets. So I went home and told my parents I want to be a teacher. And they, God bless them, put like a kind of kid-sized chalkboard in my brother's room, and then I forced him to be my student. And I would make worksheets for him, and I had stickers for the worksheets that he did well on. I don't know, I think I'm part of his success in life, basically.
So I'm assuming teaching is your big passion.
Yeah.
So how do you find the motivation to go and teach every day?
I love reading books, listening to podcasts, Bible buddies. I love finding people online and going to online like seminars that fuel either how I teach or what I teach. So whether it be like history oriented or just education in general, especially of like the age group I teach, I love finding out more and I love learning in general. So I think learning about it myself helps me be a better teacher to those that are learning from me. That was a lot.
Do you think it's important to have a motivation to pursue your passions?
Yes. Oh my word. Why would I do any of the things? I mean, I guess some people would do it for a paycheck, but I think that if that's what you're working toward, you don't actually put yourself into your work. You're just showing up. I would hope that as a teacher, I'm putting my stamp on what I do every day so that it matters.
Wow, it's really inspiring and exactly what we're hoping to prove today.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Welcome back, Bible buddies.
So we've heard Miss Allen talk about her motivations in life and how she can find motivation to pursue her passions. And Miss Allen's a Christian, and so what's the difference in Christian views and non-Christian views? Well, actually, we found a site called Got Questions, Your Questions, Biblical Answers, saying how the motivations of Christians is different from that of unbelievers. For one thing, our sense of motivation or inspiration comes from God and not from things of the world. Not selfish things like who has the best iPhone or who has the most money. But David spoke of his motivation in Psalms. He said, I desire to do your will, O my God. Your will is within my heart. And that was Psalm 40, verse 8.
All right, now, many of you may be asking, like, what advice do you get from the world? You know, just like common stereotypes. What can you take out of it for, like, to get our goals, which is most of your goals are stereotypes. You know, your driver's license by 16, house by 30, something like that. Now, there's usually a plan or a stereotype, as previously mentioned, that we should abide by, that we should follow. These aren't always right because everybody works at a different pace to achieve their goals in their lives. Now, we need to take failure and part of this plan. It should be part of the plan to get the goals that we so desperately yearn to achieve. We are often labeled a failure if we do not follow this. If we run into a bump in the road and we give up for a little bit, that's normal. But we need to get past that and endure through all the hardships. Now, a verse that I often think of when I'm trying to pursue my personal goals is Nehemiah. Now, he had many obstacles while rebuilding his wall, but he never faltered. He continued to work through it, and he worked hard.
Wow. So another question is, are there any other Bible verses that you can use under this topic? And we actually found Colossians 3:23, and it says, helpful or not helpful, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Don't do it for yourself. I'm not doing anything I do for Jack. I'm not doing this podcast for Jack. I'm finding a motivation to do it through everything.
The next day.
So how can we apply this to our lives? Well, after a lot of research, me and Jack have realized that finding a motivation to pursue a passion is very important. You heard some stories from Miss Allen about how she uses motivation to pursue her passions each and every day and how successful she's become, and how, Miss Allen is a very joyful teacher, as most of you may know. So to apply this to our lives, make sure that you find a reason to do what you love and how you're doing it, and if you're doing it right or not. If you're doing it for the right reasons or doing it for the wrong. It's a very important lesson, and applying it to your lives is very important.
Now, I have one last story before we wrap up here. It's about somebody you may know, Michael Jordan. The famous basketball player, Michael Jordan, once said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games, and I've stopped and not gotten a buzzer beater 26 times. I've failed over and over again in my life. Jordan was not always the successful man that we see he is today. This should display how every Christian will find some troubles along the way, but they'll still make it through. Now, I hope this can relate. In conclusion, we strongly urge you to follow what we've laid down here today. You know, the pipe work, and it will help you achieve your goals ideally. We've reviewed Nehemiah and how he has had his own struggles and how he achieved his own goals. We've also gone through it and we've interviewed Miss Allen, as previously stated, and how she told you that your goals should be something that you love rather than somebody else set them for you. You should want to achieve your goals. And finally, we hope this will help you get to your goals.
Bye, Bible buddies!